In our recent video, American's Downfall is Here, a community member asked a question and essentially went like this: Billy, with your experience in Cuba, do you think it will get bad here in the US? Thank you for that question. And that question gave me a lot to think about. I did reply to the community member and I essentially said that, yeah, it will be. But I want to expand on that because we have to understand that what happened in Cuba happened about 6 decades ago. Since then, a lot of things have happened. Population has increased. We barely produce anything. Back in those days, the U.S. was a superpower. In the production area. Ever since, since the 90s and whatnot, things have gone downhill. And well, here we are nowadays. We barely produce anything. Let me know in the comment section below how many times you go to the store and you see a product saying made in the USA. Pretty much everything is made elsewhere. And that has given us, the American people, a lot of good things. I'm not gonna deny that our standard of living went from here to here, but that had an end, and we are at that end. And we can't ignore the fact that we have so much debt. And I know a lot of people get frustrated with me every time that I say this, like, oh, this is something that we shouldn't worry about. Screw it, we just don't pay. Sure, let's go with that. What can they do? Right? People want their money, so what would they do? Anyways, we can't pay it back. We just won't be able to. But the thing is, we don't produce anything either. All we produce is debt. That's all we produce. We in constant war. Constantly. We have a population of, people from, I'm gonna give you a range from 18 to 50, more or less, just to give you a good range of population, that a lot of them don't know what hardships are. So a lot of them believe that they are entitled to things. They are entitled to those programs like, food stamps. They are entitled to health care. They are entitled to do whatever they want without repercussions, because they have been made to believe that they're right, that they are entitled to those things. So we have a pretty large gap of folks. They have this mindset of, I deserve this. You guys know how I feel about that whole deserve thing. In my book, you have to earn everything. That right there is an element that is going to be key for this collapse. I want you to consider that mindset, the same mindset of a spoiled kid. What happens when you take away a toy from a spoiled kid? The kid will throw a tantrum. It will kick, it will scream, it will break sometimes things. And a lot of parents, unfortunately, don't correct those behaviors. In fact, it is the parents' fault if the kid is spoiled. In this case, the parent can be compared to the government. The government has spoiled a lot of people. So imagine now that the parent don't give that kid back the toy. What do you think is going to happen? That bracket that they believe that they deserve those things, that's theirs in their mind. They're going to throw a tantrum. But here's the problem. They're not kids anymore. And for lack of a better word, we have a Second Amendment here. What do you think is going to happen? Does that give you ideas? Because whatever you're thinking is going to be 100% worse. Imagine now these people who believe that they own everything by the entire world. I mean, they are civilized. This is what it entails to live in this country. You know, I live here. I deserve everything for free, and this is it. They're gonna riot. They're gonna destroy everything because let's be honest, that's a tantrum. Same as a child. They're just grown children. Grown children because daddy government or mommy government, however you want to call it, you know, give them everything. They never make them work for it. No, they give them everything. So when you really think about these things, it should send chills down your spine. The other thing that you need to consider is the amount of people coming from other countries in here. Now, I mentioned to you all that I engage, and I rarely do this in other people's channel. Essentially, hey, this is what they do, and man, did I got a backlash. Oh, this is a civilized world, blah 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 blah, a whole bunch of nonsense. But here's the thing: they're here. They're not going anywhere. They will do what they want to do, whether you like it or not. You now have to deal with these people with different mindset, and they're coming to your towns, destroying everything that you work for, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do. And you know why? Because mommy and daddy government are protecting them. Because they are the new you. Plain and simple. So when all of those things together, you consider all of these things. You consider the division in politics. You consider that people now have to have 2 jobs in order to make ends meet. But at the same time, all of these people are getting free money, your money. So now you have discontent. You have other people who believe that they deserve everything and they should not work for anything. The government should give them everything. So the moment that you take that away, these people are now unhappy. They will throw a tantrum. They will destroy things. They will see you as an enemy because you work your entire life and they believe that what you have, they are entitled to it. This will be the biggest collapse in human history. And it will be the biggest collapse in the human history because whether we like to admit it or not, we are everywhere. Because we owe more money than anybody else in the entire world. Because we are accustomed to good things. And nobody who's accustomed to good things wants to give it up. People who are accustomed to good things, they will fight tooth and nail to keep them. That's just the way it is. The other thing is that it will take a long time to rebuild. Everything that has a beginning has an end. Every empire had a beginning and had an end. In the meantime, what are your plans? Are you plan to lay down and die? Are you plan to, well, just keep doing what you're doing? Are you planning to ignore what's going on? Are you planning to, just go to a concentration camp and just stay there until things, pass and something new comes about? What are your plans? Let me know down in the comment section below. The thing is that you also need to understand that once the collapse happens, and this is something that I always get backlash on, because a lot of folks don't have the resources And a lot of times I hear, well, I just don't have the money and other things. What are your plans? Because you need to have a plan. This is happening. You can ignore it as long as you want to. You can click away and not share this video. But I'm telling you, it will happen. And you either on the side of, shit, I am as prepared as I can, and let's see how long I last. Or you're going to be on the side of, I am not prepared at all. I am going down like a sack of potatoes. It is completely up to you. Completely up to you. Now, you say, like, oh, screw this. I leave everything to Jesus. And whatever happens, happen. I hope you understand that if you do that, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. Because as much you can go through the good book, they tell you to be prepared. I'm telling you all. I mean, the ark was built for a reason. I mentioned to you all that you are going to see more religious fanatism. People are going to get into it a lot more. Funny enough, I have noticed that. I noticed that in other places. People are going to make sense out of a collapse some way, somehow. And you need to be prepared for any event. I'm telling you all of this. Because if nothing happens, rock on. But if it happens, or when it happens, well, let's just say that you don't want to think back with regrets. Because you will face a lot of hardships. So keep this in mind. Try to put yourself in a situation, location that is advantageous to you. Try to have as much resources as you can get. Try to have as many people that you can trust. I'm telling you this, that you need to trust around you. If you think that people have nugget issues, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm telling you. And the other thing is, get ready. Just get mentally ready to do things that you never thought you were going to have to do. With that being said, I hope you have a great one. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.